Hello everyone, welcome to GS Core. Today in this session we'll be discussing about current affairs through MCQs. And today we'll discuss environment and ecology questions. So let us start with the discussion. First question is, Washington Convention is related to which of the following? So there was one convention which was adopted in 1963 and it came into force in 1975, and that convention is known as CITES. That convention is known as CITES. What is CITES? CITES is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, right? And through the regulation of trade, it tries to ensure that the trade does not lead to the threats with respect to survival for the wildlife. And that's why CITES is a convention related to wildlife protection. Wildlife protection. This CITES convention, it is also known as Washington Convention. It is also known as Washington Convention. Washington Convention. Fine. So Washington Convention, that means CITES is nothing but it is a convention related to wildlife protection. Fine. And that's why answer is B. Next question. Second. Which of the following statements regarding Climate and Clean Air Coalition CCAC are correct? So CCAC is a convention, or it is a coalition that came into being in 2012. It is a coalition that came into being in 2012, and it focuses on short-lived climate pollutants. Short-lived climate pollutants like methane, black carbon, etc. So those pollutants are the focus of CCAC. Let us consider the statements. First, it is an organization committed to improving air quality and promoting the climate through actions to reduce short-lived climate pollutants. So this statement is a correct statement because it is CCAC works to reduce short-lived climate pollutants. And that's why CCAC is also considered as a complementary mechanism to UNFCCC. It is considered as complementary to UNFCCC. Fine. So first statement is correct. Second, its activities are financed through a multi-donor trust fund which is administered through United Nations Environment Program. Right. So it is Environment Program. So this statement is also a correct statement. Right. The finances to the activities under CCAC are provided through the trust fund which is administered by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. So second statement is also a correct statement. Third statement, India has formally joined the Climate and Clean Air Coalition CCAC in 2019. Right? So this statement is also a correct statement. India in 2019 became the part of CCAC. So all these statements are correct statements, and that's why answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. Next question. Next question is, Fit for 55 initiative was launched in which of the following? So Fit for 55 initiative is an initiative of European Union. It is an initiative of European Union where they are trying to reduce. The initiative aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030. By 2030, they will be trying to reduce the emissions by 55%. And that is what is Fit for 55 initiative launched by European Union. And that's why answer is D. Next question now. Question number 4. Consider the following statements regarding Panchamrit presented by India at COP26. So Panchamrit is nothing but India's upgraded nationally determined contributions, NDCs. And total there are 5 NDCs. We'll consider the statements first of all. First statement is India will reduce the total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now onwards till 2030. Right? So in 2021, India committed that it will reduce the projected carbon emissions from 2021 to 2030 by 1 billion tons. Right? So first statement is a correct statement. Second, by 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45%. Right? So this concept is very important, carbon intensity. Carbon intensity means how much emissions, how much greenhouse gas emissions are emitted to achieve 1% of GDP growth. Right? To achieve 1% of GDP growth, how much greenhouse gases are emitted? That is what is considered as carbon intensity of the economy. So India has said that under its Panchamrit or NDCs, by 2030, India will reduce carbon intensity of its economy by 45%. Fine, and that's why second statement is also a correct statement. Right, both these statements are correct. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. But what are other Panchamrits? So these are 2 Panchamrits. These are 2 Panchamrits. Third Panchamrit is India will achieve 500 or 500 gigawatts of non-fossil energy by 2030. 500 gigawatts of non-fossil energy will be achieved by India by 2030. That is third Panchamrit. Fourth Panchamrit is that by 2030, 50% of the energy, 50% of the energy requirements, 50% of the energy requirements will be met through renewable energy. Will be met through renewable energy. So that is the fourth one. And the fifth one is India will achieve net zero emissions by 2070. Right? So that is the fifth Panchamrit. Right? So all these Panchamrits are also called as India's nationally determined contributions towards the Paris Climate Agreement. Next question now. Consider the following statements regarding Niti Aayog's first State Energy and Climate Index. Right? So Niti Aayog has given this particular index in 2022. Let us consider the statements. So under this particular index, they rank states. Niti Aayog's State Energy and Climate Index ranks states with respect to energy access, then energy consumption, then third aspect is energy efficiency, and the fourth aspect is safeguarding environment. Fine. So on these 4 parameters, states are ranked. So let us consider the statements. First statement, Goa is the best performing state in the index. So this statement is an incorrect statement. Why it is an incorrect statement? Because Goa, yes, it is best performing, but it is best performing amongst the smaller states. But if we consider the larger states, then it is Gujarat which is considered as the best performing state in the index. And that's why first statement is incorrect. Goa is best performing amongst the smaller states. Fine. Second statement, the national average in the index was calculated based on energy efficiency and climate resilience. Right. So this statement is also is a correct statement. This statement is a correct statement because the performance of various states are analyzed on the basis of their energy efficiency and climate resilience. So only second statement is correct, and that's why answer is B, 2 only. Next question now. Consider the following statements. The first statement, the Basel Convention on Control of Transboundary Movement of Hazardous Wastes and their disposal does not include plastic waste in the prior informed consent procedure. Right? So this statement is an incorrect statement because the Basel Convention on Control of Transboundary Movement of Hazardous Wastes and their disposal does include plastic waste. Fine, and that's why this statement is an incorrect statement. So 14th COP of Basel Convention included plastic waste in the prior informed consent procedure category as well. So first statement is an incorrect statement. Second statement, the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, or MARPOL Convention, imposes a complete ban on disposal of all forms of plastic garbage from ships into the sea. Right? So this statement is a correct statement because as per MARPOL Convention, all forms of plastic garbage from sea should not be dumped into from ship should not be dumped into sea. Right? So all forms of plastic garbage is included under MARPOL Convention, and that's why second statement is a correct statement. But we are supposed to find out incorrect statements. So only first is incorrect, and that's why answer is A, 1 only. Next question now. Next question is, with reference to Carbon Border Adjustment Tax, CBDT, consider the following statements. So first of all, what is CBDT, Carbon Border Adjustment Tax? CBDT is an equalizing the prices method, right? It is an initiative to equalize the prices of domestic products and the products and imported products, the products which are imported from other countries. To equalize the prices of these two, CBDT is imposed. Right? So let us consider the statements. First, it is a tax on carbon emissions imposed on imported goods from countries with less strict climate policies. Right? So this statement is a correct statement. It is imposed by those countries which consider that the countries from which they are importing goods do not follow strict climate policies, and as a result of that, their goods are a bit cheaper or competitive as compared to domestic goods, right? And that's why to equalize the prices of domestic products and imported products, CBDT is imposed. First statement is correct. Second statement now. It was proposed by basic nations, that means Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. This statement is an incorrect statement. The CBDT is proposed by European Union, not by basic, right? So this statement is an incorrect statement, and that's why answer is A, 1 only. Answer is A, 1 only. Fine. Next question now. With reference to Global Resilience Index Initiative, GRII, consider the following statements. So first of all, what is GRII? It is an initiative that will be providing us with reference data. It will provide us with the reference data. Reference data related to what? Reference data related to climate and natural hazard. Climate and natural hazard. Climate and natural hazard. That is faced by those countries where the mechanism to understand or to know these kind of hazards and their impacts is not built as of now. Fine. So it is given to ensure that there is data coming from the countries which do not have the system established for for generating data related to climate and natural hazards. Fine. So let us consider the statements. First, it aims to build a universal model for assessing resilience to climate risks. Fine. So this statement is a correct statement, because as we do not have the reference data coming from those countries where there is no system to collect such kind of data, this initiative GRII will help us get data from those countries, and on the basis of data from those countries we'll be able to build universal model, and that is the objective of GRII. First statement is correct statement. Second statement now. It was launched at the Conference of Parties 21 to UNFCCC. This statement is incorrect. It was launched at COP26 Glasgow, not at COP21. Fine. So first statement is correct, and that's why answer is A, one only. Next question now. Next question is, with reference to global methane pledge, consider the following statements. First, it is an international public-private partnership focused on reducing barriers to the recovery and use of methane as a clean energy source. So this statement is an incorrect statement, because this statement is not related to global methane pledge. Rather, this statement is related to global methane initiative. It is related to global methane initiative, where the public-private partnership will be focusing on the use of methane as a clean source of energy, right? On the other hand, global methane pledge is about reducing methane emission. Fine. And that's why first statement is not related to global methane pledge, rather it is related to global methane initiative, and that's why first statement is correct. Second statement, India has not signed global methane pledge. This statement is a correct statement. Global methane pledge came into being in COP26 Glasgow, right? And certain countries, including India, have not signed global methane pledge. Fine. Third statement, while methane has a much shorter atmospheric lifetime, it is much more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. So this statement is a correct statement. Methane, yes, it has lesser lifetime than carbon dioxide, but it is almost 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide with respect to global warming. Fine. And that's why third statement is a correct statement. So first statement is incorrect, second and third are correct. We are supposed to find out incorrect statement, and hence answer is A, one only. Next question. Consider the following statements. Lead is a heavy pollutant that causes damage to central and peripheral nervous systems and impedes brain development among children. Right. So this statement is a correct statement. And one of the prime source of emission of lead is the fuel that we use. Leaded fuel leads to emission of lead. And one more source is paint industry. Fine. So first statement is a correct statement, and that's why we have shifted away from leaded petrol to unleaded petrol. Fine. So first statement is correct. Second statement, Partnership for Clean Fuels and Vehicles, PCFV, is UNEP-led initiative which aims to eliminate leaded petrol globally. Right. So this statement is a correct statement. It is the Partnership for Clean Fuels and Vehicles, which is an initiative of United Nations Environment Program. It ensures that there is shift away from leaded petrol globally. Fine. So that is about the this question. Answer is both statements are correct statements. Fine. So that is about our discussion of MCQs through current affairs related to, or current affairs based MCQs related to environment and ecology. Thank you.